Hi guys, we're up to the last slide from distance learning now. Today, our last lot of strategies looking at waste minimisation, which is key knowledge point 7 from the study design. So we can have a look here and see that now we've got a sea of red. There's only 2 points to go, which we'll cover now once we get back into class from next week. But after this slide presentation today, we've covered all of the strategies. We've been through efficiency and effectiveness of looking after our materials, looking at quality, looking at waste minimisation, and looking at automated or using technology, automated production lines, etc. So we'll revise those when we get back into class, but at least we've covered the majority of the points. With only the 2 points of corporate social responsibility and global considerations and operations management for us to do before we hit revision of this particular topic. So we don't have a lot to go through today. So we're focusing on waste reduction in this particular strategy, how we can improve efficiency and effectiveness. What waste is any resource, whether it be labour, whether it be raw materials, whether it be time, which is discarded after its use or is worthless, as in it contributes nothing towards the output that we're trying to produce in our operations management system, whether that be a service or a production process. So money gets wasted on raw materials all the time, and overproducing goods can go off while in storage through, meaning we've either got to discount them or we've got to scrap them. And companies also can be fined then if they get rid of or scrap waste or get rid of waste in a way which damages the environment. So it's an issue from that perspective as well, and we looked at that in Year 11. Customer complaints are also a form of waste minimisation when they return goods which aren't up to the specified level of quality that they're expecting when they purchase it. So return of goods also classified as waste because those goods cannot then be sold to someone else. And Another way that we can or incur waste within our organisation is if staff aren't motivated. So if they're not motivated and they're not concentrating on what they're doing on the production line, they're going to cause errors to occur within the production process, which is a significant form of waste. So they're just a few of the particular areas. So everything we want to do, obviously, is these strategies to increase productivity. Increased productivity means we're being more efficient. Obviously, if we're being more efficient, we have more chance of meeting the business objectives. So we're being more effective as well. So to be more efficient from a waste reduction point of view, we need to focus the areas towards reducing our raw material costs, increase efficiency, reduce waste treatment costs. If there is waste, we don't want to be, if we can reduce the amount of waste that we have within the system, then the treatment costs to get rid of waste will be reduced. We can then avoid any costly fines associated with any disposal of waste. And gives us another point of difference to our competitors. If we're seen to be very efficient in the way that we use our raw materials or our inputs into our production system, then it could make us a manufacturer of choice where they purchase from us because of the way that we protect the environment with the use of our particular resources. So if we manage our waste properly, then we can look at achieving the business objectives. We become more efficient, more productive. We've got more chance of achieving those business objectives that we've got listed there, being increased profits, increasing market share, fulfilling market needs, fulfilling social needs, and meeting shareholder expectations. So when thinking about reducing waste, probably the best way to go about it, and the theory as we get into it in the next couple of slides after this, it's all about 4Rs. So everything to do with waste, we need to reduce, we need to reuse if we can, we need to recycle if we can, and we need to recover wastage back into the system if it's possible. So lean management focuses on this to deliver maximum value to customers with as few resources as possible. So fewer resources going or fewer inputs going into the processes to produce an output which satisfies the customer's needs, is the focus of lean management. So let's have a look at lean management. Lean management now it's the theory. And the theory is it involves a systematic process for eliminating waste. So the outputs are produced with maximum value, utilizing the least resources. So that's the theory behind lean management. So lean management aims to increase the efficiency, effectiveness, or quality of processes, lower the cost of production. If you've lowered the cost of production, it means that you are more productive because you can produce the same amount of outputs with less inputs, which improves our formula for productivity, which means we're being more efficient. If we do that, we can also improve customer satisfaction, and we can improve employee satisfaction within the organisation. If the employees feel that they are involved in a production process that is of a high standard with less waste, and they're helping contribute to meeting the objectives of an organisation, then they will be more satisfied, they'll be more motivated, and that itself will result in less waste through errors within the production process. So we now know what lean management is. We've now got to look at the key objectives of lean management. So lean management is deliver the customer value, which means identify value from the standpoint of the end customer. The customer's always right. There's no point producing something through the operations management system that the customer doesn't want. They won't buy it then, or they won't pay the value or the dollar that you want them to achieve business objectives, which is to make a profit. So deliver the customer value is the key point there. The second point in lean management, obviously, eliminate waste. So remove the steps in the process which do not add value. There's no point having a step in your production process which doesn't increase the value of the output at the end. If they don't add value, they're unproductive, so eliminate them from the steps. That's what lean management is about. And strive for continuous improvement. Look for areas within the production process, whether it be a service business or a manufacturing business. Continually look for steps within the production process which improve or eliminate waste as we go. So the aim is to have zero defects, and any error in the system is a defect, which is waste. So we need to look at constantly improving that to improve our efficiency. So with lean management, we've got the theory. So how's it applied? And these are a couple of different things. They're mentioned in the textbook as well, these first four. So the first one is pull. So it's related to customer demand and focusing on their needs. So they pull value through the production process. That's what pull is. So in the type of waste management questions, you'll be asked about lean management and explain the theory of lean management, and then you're asked to how does it happen in real life, in a real life scenario. So you can say you can use pull, you can use one piece flow. What that is a piece of production moving through the operations process one at a time. So the value stream is improved through elimination of all types of waste. That's one piece flow. Tact is where you synchronize all the steps. So it's a continuous flow of production to meet customer demand. So you can see here there's a lot of focus on customer demand, which is most important. And then the fourth one is zero defects. Most people know zero defects, and they tend to respond with that. So it's a strive for perfection, continuously improving. That's what zero defects is. Now, I've listed one more on the other side. If you've got a longer form response to do with waste management and you needed to look at a more in-depth process, I've got something which on the next page which can help you with that. Okay, so my theory here is called Tim Wood. So it's a way to better manage operations, Tim Wood. So it's a mnemonic. So what it looks at are different areas within the operation, within an organisation, a service business, and also a manufacturing business, and it looks at eliminating waste in those particular areas, and a lot of businesses use it. In previous years, it has been quoted and used in some waste management questions in the VCAR exams at the end of the year, and it's been very effective in gaining marks. So the way you look at it here is that Tim Wood, you remember Tim Wood, that's easy enough to remember. And what does it stand for? The first one is transport. So you're looking at a way to reduce waste. The way with transport you're looking at, this isn't vehicles or anything like that coming into a factory. This is the factory itself. So we're looking at movement of product in between processes or machines in the production process. That's transport. So what you're doing is trying to eliminate that movement between processes. You then have inventory. Another way of eliminating waste is that inventory takes up space. And if you have a lot of inventory, you've got a lot of money tied up in the processes and the dangers associated with that. We've looked at that with just in time. The next one is motion. So that is movement within a process. So what that may be is that you may have a worker who is standing on a production line, and they may have to recalibrate a product coming through the production process, or manually check items or move items. I call it product realignment in this particular slide. That is waste because it slows down the process of manufacturing. So it's an area that can be looked at. Waiting is another key factor. Idle time, whether it be workers or whether it be machines, if they're not being used or they're not working, then it's costing you money and it is waste, it's expensive. So that's another area that you can look at cutting waste. Over processing, so employing resources beyond what the customer wants. Sometimes items are produced on a batch run, but it's not exactly what the customer wants, which means there'll be additional costs, additional resources going into that product, which cuts the profit margin for the particular manufacturer. So over processing is another area. Overproduction is the second last item. So what that means is if you're overproducing and you have stock sitting around, you have money tied up again in finished goods. That is an area that you need to look at. So better scheduling, using master production schedules, etc., by using automation. Manufacturing smaller batches can counter overproduction. And the final point there is defects. We all know about defects. If you get your outputs right, you will eliminate or you'll reduce significantly the amount of defects you have within your production process, which reduces your wastage. So that's Tim Wood, and it's one that I'd recommend that you apply to your memory bank. Okay, so work tasks, your last lot of work for remote learning. All I get you to do today is read text, page 243 to 249. Just cement the lean manufacturing uh, processes into the brain. Then do the text questions, page 249, questions 1 to 6, and page 250, which is the exam questions, questions 13 to 15. That's it. Once you're done through that, we'll be back together next week and we can start on the last couple of topics. So that's it for this week. That's it for remote learning. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the break over the next few days and look forward to seeing you in class next Tuesday. All the best. Bye for now.